Hey guys, I'm George, I'm a cash game specialist, and today I'm going to talk you through how we can use $1 Showdown, 1-1 saw flop, and went to Showdown stats in Hold'em Manager 3 to exploit our opponents. So to see these stats, we navigate to the Report Selector tab, and then go to Cash Results by Stakes. We can see that the went to Showdown and $1 Showdown stats are here in the default report, but we want to see 1-1 saw flop as well, so we're going to add that manually by right-clicking, select stats, typing it into the search here, double clicking, and then we can move it up and down the report as we like over here on the left. So now we have all the stats in the report, we can talk about what they mean. We're going to start with went to Showdown. This is basically a measure of how much an opponent actually gets to Showdown when he sees the flop. So the higher this is, the more likely we're facing a stationary villain. For a normal range, we'd expect this to be around 26 to 30. So if we see someone with a higher than 30 went to Showdown stat, we can assume they're more stationary, and lower than 26, we're starting to think they're really nitty with their cooldowns. Moving across, we have $1 Showdown. This just tells you how often a player wins money when he gets to Showdown. A normal range for this stat will be about 51 to 54, so any lower than 51, we're starting to think we're facing someone who's probably bluffing too much, or maybe just calling down too much, because they're just not winning money very often at Showdown. Higher than 54, we're starting to see some kind of big nit who starts to not bluff and probably also very nitty with his cooldowns. So if we're facing that kind of player, we're probably going to think about folding more on rivers. Finally, we have 1-1 saw flop. The normal range for this stat is about 45 to 48. 1-1 saw flop basically tells you how often a player wins money when he sees a flop, so it's kind of a measure of how aggressive a player is. If we see someone with a really high 1-1 saw flop, like 48 plus, we're starting to think they're really fighting for every small plot, and they're going to have bluffs in almost all of their ranges. This means that if they do take an aggressive action against us, we can be much more inclined to cool down light, because we know that they will be bluffing in every spot. If we see someone with a lower 1-1 saw flop, let's say 41, we're going to be thinking about folding when they're aggressive against us, because there's a fair chance that they won't have bluffs sometimes. This means that if we have a bluff catcher, or a hand that we're on the fence between calling or folding, we can exploit these players with low 1-1 saw flops by just folding them all the time. If we look at this report, which is my stats, we can see that my went to Showdown and $1 Showdown are within the range that we think good regulars should be. However, my 1-1 saw flop is only 43, so it's kind of on the low side, so it looks like I might not be bluffing enough or fighting enough for every pot, and people could probably exploit me by folding more often when I do take an aggressive action.